It's Wednesday the 20th of May 2026 and we've not yet made it to Dakar in Senegal. I did say that it was a long way, 2,500 kilometres, and we won't be there until the 22nd of May. Currently we're at sea, chilly and literally cruising. Okay, where are we? Wednesday the 20th of May 2026 and lots of thunderstorms and wind and rain and everything last night. A few lumpy bits, but not too bad. More tropical rain this morning. We're off the coast of Liberia and heading up towards Dakar in Senegal. So we've got a day at sea today and another day at sea tomorrow before we get to Dakar. Definite witchy poo laugh there. Just cruising along the flat sea. Haven't seen any whales so far this trip, but commenting on the fact that with the hazy day, the last sunny day we had was in South Africa, the day we went up onto Table Mountain, and we're almost at the approaching the southern edge of the Sahara Desert. We're just off the coast of Guinea-Bissau at the moment. It's not all cocktails and crosswords, you know. I'm always on the lookout for a creative shot to add to the video. In this case, testing a very long selfie stick. Turns out it's very wobbly in the wind. After complaining about not seeing anything, there's a big pod of dolphins here. Some of them are jumping and spinning, and I don't have the big camera with me because I haven't seen anything much. Yeah, big pod. You can see them better. This normally comes out a bit on the fuzzy side, but we have seen so few whales and dolphins, especially considering to the coast of South America. They're really cutting up over there, aren't they? It's interesting the way they're heading straight towards the ship. This is really quite small boat. Now, yeah, I haven't got binoculars or the big camera or anything to zoom in on it. But we're about 70 kilometres offshore here. Even though it's dead calm, we might have taken the opportunity to run out here for a bit of fishing or something. Can't see what's on there. So it's the 22nd of May 2026, another misty, hazy morning, and we're just coming into Dakar in Senegal. A few little fishing boats out here, and it's the 22nd of May. That means it's somebody's birthday, but it's not mine. Just winding our way into the harbour through all the small ships that are parked here. Okay, coming into the inner harbour now. So saw the first glimpse of the city of Dakar over there, across all the people getting breakfast. On the way into the harbour we passed the landmark Ile de Gorée, and yes, yet another location that was once involved in the African slave trade. I did take a video, but they were very poor, so the still picture here for reference. This is Dakar itself. I'm just creeping into the harbour here. There's the main. It's the main breakwater. Alright, just squeezing into the harbour, doing the obligatory wobbly panorama of Dakar City. Power station over there. No I did not pay that black kite to fly through. Who thought it was a good idea with the music, but ashore in Senegal. And then off to find our bus. It's 27. Off the ship and ready to find our bus. We're on our way to Lake Retba, the famous pink lake or Lac Rose of Dakar, and the original end of the Paris-Dakar Rally. Trouble is, at the moment it's not pink, but worth a visit anyway.
We have the pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to go to discover together with you.
On our way out of the port and through Dakar city to Lake Retba, the lake sits on the outskirts of Dakar, about 40 kilometres by road from the city centre.
It used to be in the former time, the final stage. It's a great theatre.
Another country where small motorcycles are a big thing.
It's funny, huh?
People going around the roundabout both ways. There are escorts cleaning them out. We have a police escort, not because of any safety concerns, but to make sure we can keep our schedule in the busy traffic. We had an escort in Côte d'Ivoire for the same reason. This person is trying to pull in front of the bus but gets called back by the traffic cop. Is the mural on this wall official or graffiti? I wonder how it compares with the big one in Cotonou in Benin.
Like when we say Cape Verde, Cape Verde in Dakar, capital city in Dakar. When we say Chess district, capital city Chess, Kaula, etc. So we have about 14 districts in Senegal. And the population is about 19 million inhabitants, as I told you earlier, composed by different ethnic groups.
These are all cashew nut trees. This main highway was built right through a cashew forest, and the cashew nuts are exploited commercially. Keep trying to get some pictures of the horse-drawn carts, but this camera is so slow to start. And one behind a truck here. I think I will have to find something better. There's a mobile sunglass shop there. All the sheep and goats are for sale for the sacrifice of Ibrahim, which in 2026 was about the 27th of May. There were lots of places selling them. There's a celebration of this swap of the sacrifice of Abraham's son to a sheep on Thursday. And the sheep will be sacrificed in the household. Half of the meat will be kept in the house and half donated to the poor. Stopped at a market for us to have a short wander around. Plenty of horse carts here. Not as busy as the market in Abidjan, and it's only one street deep. A minimum risk of us getting lost. The district health centre is named for Thierry Sabine, founder of the Dakar Rally. I do a quick wander along the street market. I want to get some video of the busy scene without being too obtrusive, so I have the 360 camera out. People here know what a camera on a stick is. If somebody asks me not to take video, I'll stop, but everybody seems okay with it. At last we get to Lake Retba. As you can see, even on this image, it isn't pink anymore. An episode of flooding in 2022 caused the salinity of the water to lower and the death of a lot of the algae that causes the pink colour of the water. There was also severe financial loss to the people that harvest salt by hand from this lake. With evaporation, the water is growing more saline again and the pink colour is returning. There is a link to a video about the salt mining at the lake in the description of this video. Okay, after all my cheek about jeeps, for the trip around Lake Retba, we've wound up in a jeep, so I'll get to see how they go. Most of the rest of the vehicles, naturally enough, being Africa, are Land Rovers, except for the Unimog over there. So off on our drive around Lake Retba. That's it. Today I've been got for all my cheeky remarks about jeeps because we're in a jeep. Call to morning prayer. This is just going down to Lake Retba. With all the building that's taken place along the edge of the lake now, it's not remote anymore, and the traditional end lap of the Dakar you probably couldn't do anymore. It's Lake Retba over there. Got buildings built right up in it. It's still do a flog around on this road here. It's funny, the lake isn't pink anymore, but the reflections off the lake still have sort of like a slight pink tinge to them. As it evaporates more and the salinity builds up again, it'll probably go pink again. This is definitely the coolest Jeep I've ever been in. In fact, it's the only Jeep I've ever been in. We stopped to have a wander around where the salt harvesting operations take place. It's all done by hand, no industrialisation. Since the flooding of 2022, the salt extraction has slowed down a lot. The piles of salt drying are fewer and smaller than before, but there's hope that it'll rise again to its old levels. So this is Lac Rose in its current state. Still very saline, at 34% saline. These boats here, where they go out in the lake, and from what I gather, the salt accumulates on the bottom of the lake and they dive down into the relatively shallow water and scoop it up and load the boat up. And then they bring it up to shore here to dry out, and there's stacks of salt on the shore here that I'll show you in a minute. This is the salt that they've got out of the lake, stacked up, drying on the shore. So there's still people here making money from the salt harvesting. There's some bagged up over there behind those people. It doesn't take long for the souvenir vendors to arrive. We pay way too much for some small items we'll hand out when we get home. Personally, I don't like their attention, but at the same time they're just trying to top up the household income. We can spare the cash. I should have bought some salt as a souvenir while I was there. Maybe if there's a next time. We head back to do a lap along the Atlantic beach. Hopefully not quite as fast as they did in the Dakar, but it will be interesting to see a place I've seen so often in the Paris-Dakar TV coverage. Note, due to security problems in Mali and Mauritania, the Dakar moved from Africa to South America and then to Saudi Arabia. To the Atlantic beach. back of all the villas that have been built. Some Atlantic rollers coming in there. Down there is the beach they would have driven on at the end of the Dakar. The sea breeze tinged with the oily smell of many very old diesels. Oh, it's birthday girl. Heading down the beach. Yes, it's a shame so much plastic around. A lot of the local people here have a swim. It looks like a lot like Salmon Beach, except being in the Atlantic there won't be any salmon. And yes, I do have a big problem here with plastic in the water. All the beach is just unfortunately littered with plastic. We continue on celebrating our victory in making it so far from the start point in Paris. Hold on, what am I talking about? Well, I can dream, can't I? Actually, we're just completing our 5-kilometre loop to head back to one of the lakeside resorts for lunch. This is important. Got a different Land Rover in front of us this time. This one's not blowing as much smoke as the other one. Oh yeah. We queue up for our African buffet lunch, complete with live band. As long as they're playing, the queue can be as slow as it likes. They also have a local Senegal beer, so I have one of those, although I rarely drink beer. Lunch being had, the fish and lamb were delicious by the way. It's all aboard the bus and back to the main village for a dance presentation. We had a bit of a delay as the bus drivers were at prayers, but they started the buses and put on the air conditioning for us before they went. Yes, it's hot.
Friday is like Sunday by the Catholic, everybody has to gather in the mosque. But in other days, people can pray everywhere. A normal Muslim have to pray 5 times a day. The first one is at 5:30 or 6 a.m. The second one is 2:15 p.m. The third one is at 5 p.m. The fourth one is at 7:30, and the last one after dinner, every day. And now on Friday, which is like Sunday, as I told you earlier, everybody has to gather in the mosque to do the worshipping together.
Getting more back into the city now, heading back towards the ship. Seems to be a bit of a thing here for people just to choose to drive on the other side of the road because it's not as busy as the side they're supposed to be driving on. So police escorts stopped them to let us through. The Museum of Black Civilizations has evidently got a replica of the Lucy skeleton in there. I'm trying to catch one in the station. I'll have to zoom in on it, but it's one of the trains. They have the quite swish, quite nice. So this is Dakar Central Station. Yep, almost back at the ship now. This is the roundabout where people go around it both ways. See what I mean? This part, it's the waters. That, a bit more seriously, is the memorial to Senegalese soldiers that fought in the First and Second World War. Autonomous Port of Dakar.
Ladies and gentlemen, within a few minutes we're going to be back to the port. Before saying to you bye-bye, we wish you a safe journey, good health and long life, and hopefully this big lake tour excursion you did like it, you did enjoy. On our side, we thank you so much for visiting Senegal and say bye-bye to you until next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Flying bonanza going on at the dockside market. this guy's got the right idea. He's selling postcards that he'll post to you. We pick a postcard and pay for it. So you're buying a postcard from this gentleman to get sent to us. That'll be a great souvenir of Senegal because it's something sent from Senegal to us at home. It arrived 8 weeks later, having been on its own adventures through the Senegalese postal system, then across the world to us in Australia. One of the most unique and best souvenirs of our travels we have. Plenty of these kites around the city and checking out the ship. I got this one just on my phone. So basically, we've got to back the ship out and around the corner into there, and then stick her in forward and shoot off out through the harbour. The dust from whatever minerals are loading over there. We don't have a lot of clearance. There was mud being stirred up. It's one of the advantages of these smaller ships rather than the mega floating resorts, is you can get into these more interesting ports. I mean, if a ship could only get into sort of like the mega ports in Florida and the Bahamas and stuff like that, I wouldn't be bothered going on it. So where next? We're leaving Africa culturally but not geographically. Next port is Las Palmas in the island of Gran Canaria. It's about 1,500 kilometres away and about 200 kilometres west of the coast of Morocco, and from what I hear, distinctly Spanish in culture. That's for the next video. Until then, keep safe and we'll have a cocktail or two for you on the way.